All right. Good morning, kids. Hey, welcome. It's Friday, everybody's favorite day of the week, but we serial entrepreneurs, we don't care which day of the week it is. Every single day of the week is Friday to us. One of my favorite days of the week is Monday, but hey, a lot of you people out there, you love your Fridays, and that's fantastic. Today's another awesome Friday, and we have a heck of a special guest for you today. I am so excited about that. And so anyway, as most people know, we are the Kong family, and we have this really simple goal. And that goal is to change the world. We just want to change the world. And guess what? A lot of people think that might be kind of crazy. That might be an unattainable goal. But guess what? It's happening, baby. It's happening every single day. We're watching it happen, making it happen. And so we are doing that in a really interesting way. And my brother Sean, I'm not sure what's going on with him. I think he's just going through some stuff, trying to go see his kids and that kind of stuff. But as he would say, we are changing the world one glass of hydrogen-rich, oxygen-saturated, incredibly hydrating Kangen water, 9.5 at a time. And I would add one lightning bolt in a box, one incredible guest, and one amazing family at a time. And so with that introduction today, we're going to get right into it. We have Mr. John Stevens in the house. And
one sec.
He's got a dog who wants to be on the show too. But anyway, so I believe John's up in Canada, but when he gets back here, there he is. So,
JJ, 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
The door.
Go ahead, buddy. No worries. Rodgar, good to see you, buddy. Paul.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Vietnam. Good morning, Kong family. Yeah, boys. So it's another awesome day in the neighborhood. But you guys are gonna love John Stevens' story. This is some pretty classic stuff. I got a little piece of it yesterday, and he decided to come on the show today, and so yeah, pretty excited. You know how I am about stories. I love hearing great stories and sharing them out with the world. And so, yeah, we got someone special coming in today that really has quite the value to share. That's one of our things. We want to share value every day with the family. Yep. And one of my favorite ways to do it is by telling stories. And so, John, welcome back, buddy. And so, aren't you up there in Canada?
I am. I'm in Pembroke, Ontario, Hockeytown, Canada. So we're about an hour and a half north of Ottawa, the capital of Canada.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. So you're one of them. I know all you Canucks love hockey. So that's, that seems to be a given. And congratulations on your Raptors winning the NBA title. And that's a bummer that Kawhi decided to bolt for LA. That's a bummer. But anyway, at least you guys got a title out of the guy.
yeah, nature of the business, JJ?
What's that again?
I said it's the nature of their business, go after the money and whatever, and so whatever. Yeah. That's the problem with a lot of things now. There's no loyalty anymore. It's all about the dollar, like you said.
That's exactly the truth. That in itself is an interesting subject because
Amen.
As the United States Federal Reserve Corporation continues to destroy the value of the dollar, it increases the necessity for that dollar, and it makes it so people have to chase it even more and more and more and more and more, and it makes it more and more and more important as it loses more and more of its value. And so anyway, that's another discussion for another day, in another place and another time. But so you're up there in Canada, up in the Ontario area, and I'm going to just start right out with the question that I love to ask everybody. I'm always really super curious about this. I'd like to know, first off, how, when, and why did you get involved with Kangen Water, and were you a skeptic like I was?
Definitely. Back in 2000, well, we'll go back to 2006. Our daughter was very ill at the time. We had her in the hospital, 17 years old. We had her in the hospital for 6 months, got her out December of '06. 9 pills. The doctor says she said she had to go to the pharmacy. So go to the pharmacy, 9 pills, wanted her in a wheelchair. She had osteoporosis. She said their body was so screwed up she would never have kids. And I just shook my head saying, this is crazy. This is our medical system, you know. So we were searching. And I mentioned yesterday about the movie The Secret had just come out with Bob Proctor, John Asserat. And again, there was a meeting going on in Toronto where they were all speaking. All the speakers of that movie were in Toronto. So 6 of us decided to go down on a Friday night, spend the night in a hotel, get up in the morning. Noelle and my wife and I get up. We had breakfast or get a cab, and we said, we want to go to this address on King Street, downtown Toronto. So down we go. We're not looking at the address because we gave it to the cab driver. So anyway, we get to this place and pull in, and he says, you're here. We pay him. We get out, and we're looking at the architecture of this building. It was a nice looking building. So we walk in and we say, we're here for this seminar. Now there are 2,000 people going to this seminar on the Saturday, 2,000 on the Sunday. So anyway, we get into the hall or into the hotel. They said, you're at the wrong location. It's up on the other side of the street. So, okay, it's a Saturday morning, sunny. So out we go. Noelle and I were walking down King Street to where we're supposed to be. And we hear Johnny. And I was in the insurance industry, and I'd met a lady named Nancy Lacasse. Nancy's daughter was very ill. Our daughter was ill. That was a connection for Noella and her. Norm and I are talking golf behind them. So they're talking as we're walking down King Street. We get to a Becker's. I don't know if you know what a Becker's is, but a corner store. Noella said, I want to get some water before we go into this seminar. And Nancy said, I meant to call you guys. 2 weeks ago, we got introduced to this medical device out of Japan. We bought it for our daughter. Have a look at it for Corinne. That was our introduction. Into the hall we go. And so we come out there, coming home on the Sunday. Noelle has given me I didn't drink water. I drank pop was my kick, you know. I didn't drink coffee. We, on the way home, she's talking about this water, and I wasn't even listening, you know. We get back to Pembroke, 3 o'clock in the morning, JJ, she comes to bed. We need this. What? You know, and so the next morning I phoned Nancy and I said, how do we get one of these? Like, what do they cost? Because we didn't even know that. Well, then you know the different prices. So I said, okay, well, we can't afford to pay for it because we were already putting Corinne into some treatments that we were paying for, but we can finance it. So then we're looking at the financing, and to go from the junior or the R at the time up to the SD 501 was like $20 a month. We were buying it for our health. We went with the SD 501. That was April of '07. Fast forward to today, Gideon is 10 years old. Ezekiel is 6 years old. Corinne is healthy on no medication. Osteoporosis is gone. Not saying, JJ, that it had the water, but it certainly helped her get her mind in the right frame, if you will, for the body to heal itself.
Yeah.
Skeptic, definitely. I was a skeptic. I didn't drink water, like I said, but when she started, and back in '07, you got to remember, there was nothing like EWS and all of this. We didn't have that. We had some Japanese doctors talking in broken English about different things that they were doing, and that's what sold Noella, you know. The osteoporosis, where they talked about an 83-year-old reversing her osteoporosis, sold her.
Yeah, amen. And that's, just for the people out there, because we're going to probably get into a little bit more of this as this episode goes on. It's important to remember, and we have to stress this. It's not Kangen water that cures or heals. It's not Kangen water that is the magic or the miracle. It's the human body. This thing right here, this is amazing. This thing does all kinds of things for itself. You know, I always say that what Kangen water is it's the main tool that goes in the toolbox that the human body can use to become its own mechanic and go ahead and fix itself. And that's exactly what it does. When you give it the electricity, the hydrogen, the hydration, and the alkalinity by default, because it gets that alkalinity by default of the electricity. not because it's having chemicals added to it. And that's huge. And that's what, those are the tools that the human body uses to fix itself. And so, very important for people to understand that, very important for us to make note of that and let, just in case an addict ends up watching any of these episodes, we want to make sure that they understand that we understand that we're not saying that this water is some sort of miracle cure, because it's not. The miracle cure is this baby right here, man. These things are amazing. So, so anyway, yeah, that's a great story to find out that you kind of just stumbled into it, expecting to go to something else. I kind of love that. Talk about God stepping in and saying, hey, you need something here. I've got to give it to you. And so, what do you have to expand on as far as that's concerned? What has your own benefits been? What about your wife and other people around you and such? Because you've been in it now for quite a while, so you got to have some pretty good stories to tell, I'd imagine.
Like I said, you were mentioning earlier about the hockey. Like, I loved hockey. I grew up playing hockey, played college hockey. But at 40, 41, 42, my hands are starting to get sore. My legs are sore. Go to the doctor. Well, arthritis, because I used to be, in my early years, cable TV. So we were outside in the cold and whatever, arthritis, So anyway, we went to, when we got involved with the company, we got to go to San Antonio, Texas. And I don't know if you know who Bill Powers is, but we met Bill Powers down there in the parking lot. He had this sign all around his car. And so we were talking. And back in 07, we were able to take JJ's picture, put it on the EWS website. And this is in 09, but put it on the website. You could tell your story in your voice. And we had probably 200 pages with 20 on each. You could put anything in there and you could have somebody tell their benefits of this water. But again, like you just said, the FDA doesn't want healthy people. It's a body that's a miracle. This was the venue that these people were using. But, Bill Powers got up on stage there with his doctor, and 16 weeks prior to that meeting, he was sent home to die. Because there's no more money, there's no more cure, there's no more treatment down there. And he held up a piece of paper that day when we were there, and he says, this is my oncology report from last week. I am cancer-free. And you can see Bill now, he's still out here promoting what it is, that the body is a miracle. Just give it the right tools, Another story, crazy story, and again, not to say that it was, but when we got Corinne into Arizona to get some help, we got our machine in. So a friend of mine I hadn't seen in a while, I went over to see Ronnie, and I don't know if you have Culligan down there, but it's a big 10-gallon water jug. So anyway, I bring this water over to my friend I hadn't seen in a while. So we go to the door, knock at the door, and Huguette comes to the door and said he's in the living room. So walk in, and the daughter, Francine, was home from Calgary. And so hi, and walked in, and Ronnie's sitting in a chair, JJ, he's strapped with a belt, holding himself up, got a morphine dispenser on his side, and we were in the insurance industry together. He said, I don't know, I'm not going to make it. And I said, Ronnie, I don't know if this will help you, big guy. I said, it's water. I said, the worst thing that'll happen, excuse the language, you're going to have to piss. And he started laughing. He said, I can do that, and thumbs up. So I left him this 10 liters of water on the Friday. Monday, they phoned, we're out of water. But really? So I go back over on the Monday, fill another jug, give it to them. Friday, they phone again, they're out of water. The Monday, they phone, they're out of water. The next Friday, they phone, they're out of water. So I go back on that second Friday and their third Friday, and I said, she said, we got to take Francine back to Ottawa. She's got to fly home. Not a problem. Following week on Monday, I get a phone call. Then the next week, I don't get the call on the Monday. Said to Noella, like we said earlier, we can lead you to water. We can't make you drink it, So then the fourth week, the end of the fourth week, you get a phone call. We're out at the cottage from a 628 number. It's Huguette, we're out at the cottage. Now, Ronnie hadn't been out of his house since the previous September. We're there in May. So we're out at the cottage. Do you mind if we come in for the water? I said, certainly, if I'm not here, leave your jugs on my porch, I'll fill them. But anyway, I was here when Huguette come. I said, how's Ronnie doing? Said, I think he said he went to the fire pit behind the cottage, got the wood, brought it around to the fire pit. I said, really? You know, again. So the next week she came in, how's Ronnie? A bit tired today. I said, what's up? He said he was so excited about walking. He walked around the lake twice. I think he overdid it. You know, and again, putting it into the body, 70% of your body's water, 90% of your brain is water, 13% of your bones is water. You know, it all comes back to what are we giving the body to do? So this went on all summer. The end of September, Ronnie comes home, phones me, go over to his condo, knock on the door. He's standing at the door and shakes my hand. We walk into the living room, we're talking, and he said, you know, he said, when you showed up on the Friday, the reason you heard that Francine was home, that on Monday, the doctors gave me a week to live. He says, you've given me a second chance. The name of our company is Second Chances for You. So again, you know, Ronnie buys a system, and then we didn't even know that there was a business to this. We were just giving away the water. And then we phoned Nancy, we got some people that want to buy these systems. How do they do that? And then again, but you know, referral checks, you know, hand out water, you know, that's nuts. That some company, because you said, like you were saying earlier, I want to help somebody. I don't care if you buy a system or not. We had Sue come here for 2 years for water because it was helping her arthritis and her, you know, fibromyalgia. And it was 2 years, little over 2 years, she came back, and the first time she ever walked in with her purse to get the water, said, we're ready to buy our own system now. So, crazy. You know, so yeah, we've seen a lot of I say coincidences, because if you say anything else, and those ones that are out there that don't want us to have these coincidences will find a way to shut us down. But the body is a miracle, and you know, 13 years now, best investment we ever had. And be a product, you know, beauty water in our bathroom, 2.5 water in our bathroom, 11.5 water for our vegetables every day, you know, and then obviously drink your water. You know, we had a great, I don't know if you know who Wade Lightheart is, but Wade, we were talking with Wade at a few different seminars, and I've taken some courses with Wade. And he said, JJ, if you go down to Midas Muffler or your local oil change place, you know, and they're going to get an oil change in your car, would you get 1 liter or would you change all the oil? So when he got introduced to this back in 2007, he was a skeptic. He said, I don't believe it. Water's water. But he said, I'm a 200-pound guy, and I'm putting 200 ounces of water into my body a day because I want to flush everything out of here. And Wade, natural bodybuilding champion, you can go back and look. 2 weeks after he started the water, 2007, he'd retired 2 years previous to that because of the, like, again, bodybuilding. It was a regime of pills and eating and whatever. But 2 weeks after getting onto this water, he noticed his body coming back to form. He signed up for the Canadian Championships after not training for that, gets the Canadian champion in 2 weeks. 3 months later, he goes to the Worlds and comes 5th. And he said it was change my inside of my body, allow my body to do what it needs to do. And the biggest part is that change that 75%. Get rid of the pops, get rid of all that other crap that's, you know, causing all these disease or illnesses. And, you know, here we are. Sorry, I got off on a little tangent there.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love those stories. That's, you know, because I don't know whether I told you or not, John, but the reason I got involved with this company was because of a story. I didn't care about any of the technicalities. I didn't even listen to any of that stuff. It all went right over my head, just. And then one day, the beautiful angel Brittany Dykes, she put up a post about her recovery. She was literally praying to die every day, and you know, she was in such horrible pain and on medications and couldn't do any of the things she loved to do anymore, and so she just wanted to die. Yeah. And that was powerful stuff to me. When I heard that story, I went, oh, well, hold on a second here. Maybe I should open up my little old brain cell and my eyeballs and my ears and take a look-see. And I called my buddy Tim up and said, dude, next time you're up here in Salt Lake, I need you to bring me some information about this Kong's water, I started calling it Kong's water before I ever knew anything about it, because I heard it called Kongan water. It's spelled Kangan, but it's pronounced Kongan. And so I just immediately had to roll with the big gorilla and say, hey, how do you think that big gorilla got so big? And, he was out there in the jungle drinking it naturally, because it does actually come naturally. And, like right now, we've got the runoff going on. Amazingly enough, we had an incredible winter down here in Salt Lake, and I've got mountains right next to my house that we've still got 25 feet of snow up there that's coming down in buckets. And if you take your ORP meter and go up and stick it in one of these fast moving streams that's really pummeling and plowing down, it's negatively charged water. It's got a negatively charged ORP. And so this water is found out there in nature, but it's becoming more and more rare, because of the fact that we take our water and we store it in tanks and lakes and bottles and in aquifers and this kind of stuff. And so it becomes dead water, just like with Kangen water. When it comes out of that machine, it's not actually H2O, it's H2 negative OH. And it loses that charge after, depending on how it's being stored. Like, interestingly enough, you might find this interesting. Paul here, our resident lumberjack, he was here at the house last weekend, and he had a bag of water that he filled up with water, and that's what he was drinking out of. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Go get your water right out of the machine, And he's like, no, this is good enough. I go, dude, I'm going to go get the ORP meter. And I grabbed that ORP meter, and this water was literally only like 2 hours old. And the bag, it was, when he poured out of the bag, he wasn't squeezing the air out of the bag. He was just putting the lid back on. And so literally within 2 hours, that water had gone from a negative 700 to a negative 200. Yeah. Like 2 hours. Yeah. And so literally here in a couple more hours, it's going to be positive and it's gone. It's dead. Yeah. And, so that's why it's so important for people to have their own water machine, and to, whenever you can, you always want to drink it fresh out of the machine as much as possible, and I know that, like, when I have to go I'm working with a buddy of mine on a tile job today, and I'm going to take my bag of water, and, so I can't drink it right out of the machine, obviously, but, I do the best I can to drink it as fast as possible, and encourage everybody to do the same thing. And, so, God, those are some awesome stories you have there, John. And those things, I think, as people get to see those things, I know osteoporosis is something that's really affecting a lot of people. And why that happens is so simple. Just literally everything we do in our lives is stealing minerals, stealing electricity, stealing voltage, stealing hydrogen from our body versus providing it. And so like Dr. Barry Oss says, he says the body never, ever, ever goes hungry. Yeah. It eats rump roast and bone.
Exactly. I was in my body away for Barry. Yeah, I've got his DVD as well. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what's good about this. I mean, these people that have really no reason to be doing this other than they want to help people. And that's what we love about, I mean, even Mr. O, I mean, to come to North America as his first opening after what happened to him as a kid, like, really? But, again, he come here, and where is he now? We're in, all these countries that we've got things going, and people, as far like the internet is bad in some ways, but it's great that we can do this, log in and open this up. Like you said, it's like a parachute. It doesn't work until it's open, so listen to what's going on and try it. And that's what we say, I had a lady last night, phone me probably 3 years ago. She wanted a machine. She'd phoned, went down, did the demos and the whole bit, tried to get her finance, couldn't get her finance, touch and base with her here and there. She phones last night, said, I guess I'm ready to buy that machine now. I haven't heard from her. I sent her a little note in January. I hadn't heard nothing back from her. So again, you know, just drip on people and do what you can. Share the information when they're ready, or when the teacher's ready, or when the student's ready, the teacher appears. Well, the same thing. When they're ready, they'll remember that you were willing to give them water for 6 months or whatever it was. And now finances have come around where, you know, Ingrid is ready to purchase her own system.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I know there's a lot of people out there who they'll only give water to people for like 2 weeks or a month or something like that.
Yeah.
As for me, my program is I'll give you water for as long as you want, just so long as you're willing to come get it.
Exactly.
Come get it, because you need to put out at least that little bit of effort. Otherwise, you're probably not even going to drink it. And I'm danged if I'm going to go spend my time bringing water to you all the time and you don't even drink it. But if, you know, it's just like with anything else, if people don't tend to care about things that don't cost them anything, that, you know, easy come, easy go, that kind of thing, right? So I just want them to have the water, and if they'll come and get it, I'll give it to them till the cows come home. And
that's what I said with Sue, you know, the lady that come for the little over the 2 years. As long as you're willing to come here, Sue, I don't mind our conversation. I'll fill up your water. I'll carry it out to your vehicle, and, you know, but drink it. And she was faithful, you know. She'd come, you know, once every, or maybe twice a week sometimes, or whatever it was. But, you know, life got in her way. You know, the husband lost a job. The kids were going away to school. The car, you know, whatever. But if you're going to come to the house and pick it up, I'm here for you, you know. And that's what we've been all along. You know, there's some people we stop after because they'd come back with water still in the jug. Well, no, I'm not. Why give it to you? You're not even drinking it, you know. If you couldn't get through, like Dr. Dave Carpenter says, a ½ ounce per body weight, you know, and build it up. Like Wade said, he went the full bore. But again, I've had people come, well, it makes me go to the washroom. Isn't it better out than in? You know, the body's doing and getting rid of. Got to get this out. You either sweat it out, you pee it out, or you release it the other way. You know, but yeah, it's amazing some of the excuses that we get from people, and you know, we have a loaner system, JJ. We put in. A friend of mine had asked me to help out this couple in Ottawa, so we drove down. They had one of them fancy taps. I'd ordered a part. The part was come faulty, so I had to put it in the laundry room. The laundry room, JJ, was 10 feet from the kitchen, if that, you know. So anyway, phone him up after I left it for 3 weeks, phone him, and well, we're not really utilizing it because like you have to walk over to the laundry room to get the water. I said, pardon? I said, I'll be down on Sunday. I'll come and pick my machine up. And then he started with, I didn't give him a chance to even talk. Not interested. You had this for 3 weeks, his best unit in the world for you to help. And his wife is recovering from the big C, you know, so we knew this would help. And that's why we went down to do that for Paul. But, you know, don't even too far to walk. Are you kidding me? You know, you know, mind boggling.
What do you do?
You know, and didn't charge them nothing for the system. I paid to go down there, you know, with my gas to go and help this family out. And you tell me you can't walk 10 feet to get the water fresh. You know, all these bottles are sitting on their counter with their girls and, you know, whatever, you know.
Yeah. So, that's the way I feel about it too, buddy. You know, all we can do is open the door. They have to walk through it, you know. We can't, like you said, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. But what we can do is we can sprinkle some salt on their hay and see if maybe we can make them thirsty. And so that's what we're doing, running around sprinkling a bunch of salt on everything all over the place to get people thirsty. And hopefully they'll take a look-see. But, you know, like Sam Tran always says, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to save your life. And, you know, if you're not interested in it, that's fine. There's 7 billion people on this planet for us to share this water with. And so if you're not interested, like I got an old grade school and junior high friend of mine that he posts every now and again. He'll post out a snark comment about how this water is nothing special and water doesn't matter at all for life or anything like that. And I'm just like totally mind boggled by that kind of insane statement. We're literally made of water. And you know, considering the great conundrum of life, as I call it, that water, H2O, nice, clean, clear H2O, is actually poisonous to the human body. It is a very slow acidic poison. They call it the universal solvent for a reason, because it's acid and it literally causes the body to eat itself. And, you know, that's why people start out really strong and healthy. And then as they progress through life, they're like, really able to move and that, because their body's been eating itself its whole life.
No kidding. And that's why I said to you yesterday in that comment, I mean, look at Mr. O, you know, 45 years of drinking this water. Really? Well, I think I might take that preventive and, you know, put it into my body. Like, we were giving our Noella's mom, you know, the water. And then finally we said, well, let's buy her a system. So we bought her the R. You know.
Sounds like your puppy wants to be on the show. Let her in.
Must be coming up the road. She can sense her. But we bought our mother-in-law a system. We bought our young lad who went away to school a system. We've got the K8. We've got a loaner system. We've got the NS spa. Like, we're all in. The Ukon we have as well. Because again, you know, we haven't. Mitchell's 23 years old. We haven't seen a doctor other than needing a physical in 23 years. Because we started to change our, you know, and 13 years ago, this was the biggest change, because we were starting to hear from like-minded people. You know, again, great guy to get on your call if you can sometime is Shan Stratton. I mean, that man is unreal. And we've met Shan. Noelle and I drove down to Boston because he was speaking down there. And that was a 10-hour drive. But we got to spend a weekend with this guy, and it's crazy, you know. And there was a skeptic too. Like, he was, when he first got introduced to this, nothing to do. But, you know, if the body can reduce, you know, inflammation, increase alkalinity, okay, let's have a look at this. And then he started introducing it to the athletes out there, and he has it in his performance club. He has it, you know, he's around the world promoting this thing now. He said before, water was at the bottom of this thing. Take this supplement, that's out. Now it's, what water do you drink?
Yeah.
Oh, and then let's get into the rest of the stuff. You know?
Yeah, exactly. You know, that's what I always say. It's the most important component. Why? Because it's 75% of your body. The other 25% is your diet, your exercise, your environment, your mindset, whatever. You know, those are only 25% of the equation. Where and clearly, unless my math is all messed up, 75% is a lot more than 25%.
That's what presenters, the hillbilly. Yeah.
You know, I'd love to get Wade Lightheart, and I'd love to get Shan on the show. I've reached out to Shan, but he won't reply back to me. I've had his son on. His son, Cayman Stratton, came on from their water store down in Tempe. Or Mesa. I think it's in Mesa.
Mesa, Arizona,
yeah, I've been able to get Cayman to come on, but I can't seem to get Shan to jump on. But hopefully as time goes by, because, you know, we've had Bill Powers and Bob Wright and a lot of the top earners and producers in Enagic. And so, you know, it's just, I think it's probably just a matter of time and staying consistent. And, you know, I just want to be here every day giving value to people. Just so that I can, this is basically my way of sprinkling salt on the world, you know.
Shan's a busy man, bro.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he is. I know Sam Tran's a busy man too, but he comes on once a month to grace our family.
Shan is a real busy man. That man travels internationally, bro.
The cool thing is we can do this show from anywhere on the planet.
He studied this stuff for 3 years before he implemented it into his business, because he had his own business prior to the water. So he's an interesting dude.
Yeah. I've met him just briefly. But yeah, he's a pretty neat guy. And same thing with Wade Lightheart. I'd love to get him on too. And I'm sure that it'll just be a matter of time before that ends up happening. You know, it's just like with everything. If you stay persistent and stay consistent, then people start to see it and they gravitate towards it and decide that it is something they wouldn't mind participating in. So I'd imagine
you asked me back in October, and I didn't come on till yesterday.
Yeah. So, yeah, no problem, brother. I mean, it was great having you on, of course. And, you know, just another one of the Congan family people that I've been so graced to actually get to meet and meet in person and give a real hug to. So,
you know, say, AJ, about staying consistent. So for one of the first people that I introduced this to or went to was a friend. He'd been in a number of different network markets. I thought he'd be good for this company. I went to see him when we first got involved. Water's water, you know. Next year he'd see me at a show, you know, you still doing that water thing? So 6 years go by and I'm up at a show. He comes by and he said, "You're still doing that water thing?" I said, "Yeah, Jack, if you ever want to try it, you know, let me know." So anyway, the following Monday, I get a phone call from him. "I'm going to take you up on that." So, okay, come on over, you know. I said 3 things. I said, you got to drink it for a month. You got to get off your pop, and I got to know what's happening with you. No problem, I'll do that, you know. He had IBS and a few different things. And so anyway, he come 2 weeks in, something's going on here. He says, "I can move my shoulder again." He said, "I'm back sleeping in the bed from the couch and the whole bit." He come aboard, bought a machine the 3rd week in. He's a 5A now in our team. He come in on my 5A leg, but again, when you look at referrals or whatever, stay consistent. And, you know, he come after 6 years of seeing, you know, JJ on this call every day or whatever, that, you know, there must be something to this. Why would somebody be doing this long? And it was just, again, we do these shows because, again, maybe it's only one person that we get to see, but that's one person that's helped, you know, and then they can go and talk to whoever they are. And in that case there, I mean, 5A, that's 50 families at least that were, you know, impacted by me staying consistent and then introducing it to him.
Yes, absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. And so, yeah, this is great. I'm really excited that you were willing to come on here and be so gracious with your time. And now I want to move on to my next question that I always have a lot of fun with this question because I always get such varying answers.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've got somebody out there that you've got like one quick opportunity to give them a little tidbit of information, a little something about this water, about this company that, you know, you just only have this one little bit of time. You got 30 seconds or a minute or something like that, just real quick. You don't have much time to say anything that's going to be something that's either going to, you know, that might get them off the fence. It might get them to have some interest and go, what is it? What do you say?
I think the biggest thing, we're working with this 45-year-old Japanese company that has a Japanese medical device that helps 75% of your body. If you'd be interested in taking a look at it, won't cost you a cent. We'll provide it to you for 30 days. If you're interested, let me know.
I like it. I like it, you know, because that tends to get people's attention. A 45-year-old company, a medical device.
That's that long, you know. Yeah.
I love that.
It was a 37-year-old company or 33-year-old company when we started.
Yeah, well, you know, I've heard some interesting stats about this company as of late, and I'm not sure, you know, somehow I bet that the truth is somewhere in between as far as what's being said. But the word is that it took them 44 years to sell their millionth machine.
Yeah.
And then after they turned 45, in the ensuing about 6 months, they sold somewhere around about 250,000 machines in literally a 6-month period of time, when it took them 44 years to sell 1 million. And so my thought process on that is that this is the word's getting out, the power of the human body is coming to fruition because it's getting what it needs. And the word's spreading like wildfire, and I'm tickled pink to be part of it. I'll tell you that right now.
They told me at the convention that Cynthia Bugotti's team does 6,200 units a month on average.
Yeah.
Wow.
And again, when you think of 2003, they come here with Japanese-speaking people to the US. So, I mean, that's not that long ago. And then it built from there out. And now we're selling more systems outside of North America than we are here, which is crazy because we have more money than those other countries have, but they see the value and they see the opportunity that, you know, by sharing this thing that I can maybe help my family get out, you know, the three healths, you know, not your physical health, your mental health, but also your financial health. Like, where else could you, you know, again, building this business to get a referral check? I mean, you don't get the referral check at the restaurant, you don't get the referral check at the movie theater, but this company provides you a patented referral program that by you helping more people, you can then take a bigger piece of that pie, you know. And these ones in the Asias and wherever that, you know, work for $10 a month are now making, you know, sell an SD501 and make 6 points on it. I mean, you can do the numbers on those, but I mean, really?
Yeah. Yeah, you're making 5 years worth of labor or worth of pay in one sale.
Yeah. And then whenever these people see it, then really, like, and that's the big thing that, you know, it's not just the water. We got in on this on the health. We knew nothing, like we were saying earlier, it was nothing to do with the business. We knew nothing about that there was a business until people started having some effects and their coincidences and wanting to get them. And then income, like that I was saying, we financed our machine, but once we started with the referral checks coming in, that was paid off in a year. Yeah. You know, because I mean, we just kept putting the money back down on the, you know, and paid the thing off. So,
right. Yeah. So did you end up using Enagix financing or did you use
the time? Yeah. Yeah. Because they didn't have the Medicards or any of that financing back in 07. It was just an Enagix payment plan. And, you know, we went on I think it was a 16-month at the time. But again, we didn't need the 16-month because we put the money or the referral checks in an account. And when we had enough to pay it off, we sent them the money and paid the system off.
Yeah. And then those referral checks start coming into your pocket. Yeah.
A couple of years ago, we ended up, you know, Noella's a 6A now. And, you know, we've got our second line is a 5A, and we've got another one that should go 6A probably this year. So again, and it wasn't to get to that point. It was just keep sharing the water out, you know, and all of a sudden when you start looking at the numbers, and I remember my friend Roger, I mean, Nancy, who I said introduced her to this, I think we were the only ones that Nancy had a sale from because she wasn't into it for the sales. She had a lot of other things going on. She bought it for the health of her daughter. But Roger Tomeo, who's out of Toronto, kind of took us under his wing too. Roger's a 6A4-3, I think, ready to go. You know, and but Roger travels all over the world.
Right. Yeah. And that, you know, that's something that's amazing, John, because I know when I got involved with this, I had 3 other companies I was running and I didn't want anything to do with the business. I remember my buddy Tim, when he found out I bought the machine, he called me up. Jay, that's awesome. You got a machine. Yeah, we got to start having meetings at your house. I'm like, no. I don't want anything to do with the business. I don't have time for it. You know, I just bought it for the water, you know, for my body, because it made sense for my health. But after I started drinking the water, I realized, holy moly, I've actually got to get out there and share this with people. This is too important that, you know, it was like a kind of a heart thing. I was like, I feel like I have to do this. And one of my, like a year and a half later, one of my buddies, a guy named Gus Behrendorf that lives back east, he called me up from just listening to the things that I've been posting on Facebook. He called me up and said, so what's up with this marketing plan? How does it work? And I go, I don't know. I don't have a clue. I couldn't tell you anything about it. And I was like, I don't even care. Yeah. And now that I've actually found out how the marketing plan works, I wish I would have delved more deeply into it because I would have started differently. I would have started with a trifecta, and I would have started with a 0% interest credit card and did the whole $9,500 to get all three. And, you know, that's so cool the way that works. If you buy a spa first and then buy your machine from your spa and buy your UCOM from your spa, you get the first 4 months worth of credit card payments paid for, just like that, right out of the chute, you know? And I was like, man, this marketing plan, for any of those people that are listening into this, I want you to understand something about this company. Mr. Oshiro has put together a marketing plan that it gives us such incredible incentive to help each other, to help the people in our group, to help people in other groups, because once you reach a certain level in this company where you've got a certain level, and then you help 3 other people in your family, in your downline, you help them get to that level, and then all of a sudden you get a nice big paycheck every month for the rest of your life, and you get a percentage of the entire sales of the entire company. When you have an opportunity to get a percentage of the sales of the entire company, that gives you an incentive to go out there and help other people, even if they're not in your downline, even if they're not part of your group. If they sell a machine, guess what? You make a percentage of it. HooDeeHoooo! You know, I mean,
exactly.
It's absolutely mind-boggling and life-changing. That's why it's exploding across the globe. And I just, from all the companies I've been involved with in my life, I had my last time clock punching job when I was 19 years old. And now I'm 53 years young, and I've been trying one thing after another. I've probably been in 15 different network marketing companies. I've been in all kinds of online marketing companies. I got swindled out of over $40,000 last year on these real estate investment and online marketing, and every bit of it, I got involved with it because I thought I could utilize it to help me build my Kangen water business. And what I should have done is I should have just bought a bunch of Kangen water machines, and then I'd have people all over the place using my loaners. Instead, I only have my one machine, and I've got a bunch of debt I got to pay off. I'm going to have a heck of a story to tell when it's all said and done, though. But, you know, I've decided that the wise choice and the wise way to roll with this thing is to pay 100% attention to Kangen water and lick my wounds from all the losses from all these other scams out there and get after this, because this is where it all lies. We have a product that everybody in the world needs. We have a product that hardly anybody has, and we have a product that has zero competition. There's not another company on the planet that makes anything like this. There's a bunch of people out there who say, oh yeah, we're just as good as Kong for half the price. And they're not, they're nothing. They're actually garbage, and they're actually poisoning people. And, you know, you want to try poisoning, how about some platinum poisoning? You want a little platinum poisoning? How about some titanium poisoning? That sounds good, doesn't it? You know? Yeah, so it's pretty exciting having something so innovative and so important. What's your thoughts on that, John, that you can share with our family?
Like you said, I mean, a 45-year-old company that nobody knows about. I mean, crazy that, and again, the fact that you can then, like these webinars, I mean, there's no reason why somebody from Germany or from wherever can't tune into this on the internet, you know, so that this opportunity is definitely worldwide. We've got, like, our company's expanded into a couple of different countries too, and hopefully it does take off there. But again, it was through something like this that they saw and decided, I'm going to give him a call and, you know, purchase and invest. So, but no, and like you said, with the opportunity, when we first got involved, there was a webinar or a presentation online, big or black box business. And it was an economist who and he talked about the different network marketing companies out there. And it ended up with the Enagic business plan that he ended with, saying, there's nothing out there like this. And like you said, once you start helping other people, help other people, and you start getting, you know, a 4-figure monthly check sent to you each month, plus whatever the company is doing, And again, you get 1,250,000 or whatever we've got now that are all out there promoting. I mean, it's only going to, like, again, we'll go back to the hill. Would you work for a penny a day and double it each day for a month? Well, yeah, you know, so again, it might be small to start, but build this up. And again, you know, personal sales, you know, if somebody's willing to work, we'll help out by doing some, but if not, then we'll take the personal sale and take the 8 points, you know. So it's you know, build this business, structure this business to where it can benefit not only you, but if somebody's willing to work with you, you can certainly help that line and get to that, you know, that 3 level deep, which is, you know, it's crazy when was that the lumberjack that was talking? Sorry, I forgot his name, but he said about Cynthia, you know, 6,100 units a month. You know, Bobby Girardelli probably in that range too. Romy Videra, you know, 4 churches in the Philippines that he's built through this. I mean, it's crazy what you're able to do once you build this business. That, you know, and that's what you said earlier. I mean, we're in this to help people. So if we do get to that point, we're only going to be able to help more people, you know, and that's why we invested in the loaner machines. Again, you know, we'll put them into people's homes, try it for a month. A lot of people charge them, you know, to put their loaners in. We don't, you know, put it in, try it. If you're interested, then we can go to the next stage, you know, so. But,
yeah. Personally, no. I think it's a shame when Enagic distributors charge people for a loaner. I think that's really sad myself, especially the ones that I know of that do it. They're already making 6 figures a month.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like some people in this world, there's just never enough money for them. And, you know, I know of one particular person who she paid $300 a month for a loaner machine. And literally that $300 that she paid for those 3 months could have paid for her deposit to get her machine. And instead, she went and gave that money to somebody who's already making $100,000 a month. It's really sad when people do that. And I personally, I don't subscribe to that. I never will. I will always give away water for free. I know there's people out there charging as much as $5 a gallon for this water. And technically what they're charging is $5 for the bag that it goes in, because it's not legal to sell this water. And Enagic frowns on that. It's in compliance. You cannot sell this water. You can only sell the machines, but you can sell a bag for it to go in or a jug for it to go in. And that's, you know, that's how they're going about doing that. But in my opinion, that's pretty cheap stuff, you know, and I'm not on board with that kind of.
No kidding. Yeah. We've been into it over the years too, you know, or people taking sales from us, you know, send them.
Amen.
And stuff, you know, and they take the sales. And really, like, I'll send you a referral fee, but, you know, and that's what Mr. O said right from day one, you know, give the water away for free. If you're going to send somebody water to get the water, then that's their sale. You know, I mean, they're the ones that introduce, but we've had it happen a few times where, you know, they've taken and whatever, you know, next.
Well, if you ever end up with somebody down here in the great state of Utah, specifically in the Salt Lake Valley area, and you needed a water share, I'm always here for you, brother. And I promise you that I'll make sure that they come back to you to get their machine. And, you know, because I've had a lot of luck with selling machines for other people because I'm so passionate about this. And when I'm telling somebody that why they should have this water, and I always make sure to mention to them, look, I'm telling you all this out of the goodness of my heart. I don't have anything financially to gain out of this. If you buy a machine, I'm not going to get a check. I don't care. I'm telling you this because I get to have my payment is the warmth in my heart, knowing that I helped change somebody's life for the better today. And that right there is worth more money than all the money in the world to me. And, you know, some people, money's the most important driving thing in their life. And for me, that's not the case. I believe that by creating relationships that the money will come. And, you know, people are going to want to do business with me. They're going to want to be on my team. And those are the people I'm looking for. And the last thing I'm ever going to do is steal somebody else's person. It just isn't happening. No way, shape, or form. And, you know, my own brother bought a machine from somebody else after I've been telling him how to do this and everything. And,
Yeah.
and I went down and installed it for him.
Yeah.
And, you know, showed him how he can make his own electrolysis enhancer and taught him everything I could teach him about the water, you know, because I want my brother to have the water. I don't care that he bought the machine from somebody else. I care that he bought the water. And that's just the way I am with this stuff. And I believe that having that attitude in the long run is going to pay me tenfold beyond anything that you know, that money could offer, you know. And so that's a big part of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing here with this show, is I'm trying to share stories and get people who resonate with each other out and working together. You know, if somebody sees this and they see you on the show, John, and they want to do business with you because you hit the tap, you know, you turned on the light bulb in their brain cell and they want to do business with you. Great. I want them to do business with you. That's why I want to get to this last part of our interview here this morning. And that is that, you know, the only way that somebody can get a hold of you, if they, you know, as they're watching this in the days, weeks, months, and years, as time goes by from the YouTube channel, and they stumble across this episode, or they go see this episode and they're like, wow, this John Stevens dude, man, I want to work with him. Well, how are they going to get a hold of you if they don't know who you are, where you are, or whatever? So in this last little part, I want to give you the opportunity to let everybody out there know how they can get a hold of you. If you've got websites or whatever, I don't care, whatever contact information you want to give out, please do. And as a little caveat to everybody who's listening to this, if you want to get a hold of John Stevens and you send him a Facebook message or an email or something like that, please give him the common courtesy of telling him why you sent him a friend request. Tell him, hey, I ran into you. You were on that Cowan Family show with that crazy little rascal, JJ Surprise. And I like your style. I want to work with you. And so that's why I'm sending you a friend request. So anytime you send friend requests to people on Facebook, you really should do the common courtesy of telling them why. And so with that said, John, how do people get a hold of you? What kind of personal information would you like to give out to the family?
Well, our website, again, is Second Chances for You, SECONDCHANCES, the number 4, the letter U.com. My email is john@secondchancesforyou. I live in Pembroke, Ontario, Canada. I'm on Facebook, on LinkedIn. So again, any of that, and again, if any of you people out there listening have people within the Ottawa Valley that, you know, need a water share, we're certainly willing to help out. We've had a couple from the States phone, and, you know, people drove up from Ottawa, you know, and like we just said earlier, they were so impressed with Noel and I giving this water. They wanted to do the business with us. And we said, it's not any of that. Sorry. Oh.
What's that?
I thought, but anyway, they wanted to do business with us. And we said, that's not the way Mr. O set this company up. You know, you can buy the machines from the people in the States. We're certainly willing to help you up this way. But, and they ended up buying 3 machines. So that would have been a good payday if that was the person that we were, which we weren't, you know. But like you said, you've run into them, I've run into them before that would have jumped on that. But again, we're all about integrity. We've got rid of some people from our business because of the lack of, and we're just not into it, you know.
Amen.
We believe in what he's doing, Mr. O, and, you know, give it away, you know. If it costs us 50 cents for the water jug that we're given, we'll pay the 50 cents for you to have it in your body. But you have, like you said earlier, JJ, you have to make the point to come back and refill.
Yeah. Amen, brother. Amen. Yeah, buddy. Gosh, it's been such a pleasure getting a chance to meet with you here this morning and hear your incredible story. I just absolutely love it. And I look forward to continuing to interact with you. And, you know, if you ever have anything cool that goes on, anything that really stands out at you or something where you think, hey, you know, this is so cool. This is something the Kong family should know about.
Yeah.
I'm always here, and I'd love to have you back on the show again. You know, as you can imagine, trying to find guests 7 days a week is a pretty daunting task. Trying to provide value 7 days a week is a pretty daunting task. And so any help that I can get in that regard, I'm always all over it. I'm always recording all of this, and it's going to go up onto the Kong Family Show YouTube channel. Anybody that wants to get any of this information, whether it's this show, whether it's past shows, all you got to do is go to YouTube, punch in the search bar, The Kong Family Show, and hit enter, and it will bring up all of the different. It was kind of funny in the beginning when you'd punch that in, it would bring up Donkey Kong and little King Kong things, you know, big gorillas and such. And now if you punch in, we've probably got about 80 or 90 episodes now. And so there's enough of them that when you punch in the Kong Family or the Kong Family Show, it actually has Kong Family Show videos on it. So I really love that. But I thought it was kind of cute having Donkey Kong up there with us for a while. So yeah, John, thank you so much. And before we close, I'd like to ask you if you have any last comments that you would like to leave the family with in regards to your thoughts or your feelings or anything else that you would like to add. And then also if Rodgar or Paul has any questions for you before we let you go.
Well, again, I think it's just, again, be a product of the product. Like when you're out in the public, that goes with me everywhere. When we're out, we go to a restaurant, we don't drink their water. We're water snobs now that we know what's in there. So, we're not into it. We'll bring our water in with us. Again, tune into these things. I mean, I think it was Mike Scriber, because Mike and I go way back too. We've chatted over, and I think it was Mike that you were having on, and that's what clicked me into started watching your shows. So that's because you and I have never met before, and it was just, again, what's this about? But tune in. There's lots of great things on the internet to do with an addict. There are people that are willing to help you, and reach out to them, because we do have a great opportunity here. And there's lots of naysayers, but stay away from them. 2 ears and 1 mouth, so do the listening. Yeah, exactly. But again, thank you very much for reaching out. Appreciate the opportunity, and we're looking to the next 13 years with the company.
Amen, brother. Amen. So, Paul or Rodgar, you have anything that you'd like to ask before we head out of this joint?
Thank you, John.
Hey, no problem. Great to see you.
Pleasure. Yes, sir. Yeah. We're all like minds. I know JJ is very valuable to me as a person, as an individual, because he's finally getting through this thick skull of mine, and not very many people can do that. So he's a good friend.
And that's it. This is a 59-year-old skull here that took a long time to get broken into. So again,
Amen.
We want to live forever, but we want to live healthy.
We want to live healthy. Amen. Amen.
Yeah. And hey, I got to correct you on something there, John. You're not 59 years old. You are 59 years young, my brother. Young. We are lucky. We're the members of the Kong family. We get younger every year. Heck with getting old. We don't get old. We get young. And, that's the way I look at it. And it's all part of, a mindset. This company has taught me more about mindset in the last 2.5 years than I learned in the first 51 years of my life. And so that has been in itself an incredible blessing. When they say change your water, change your life, it's really exactly that. It is an incredible life changer. It might also change your job. It might also change your house. It might also change your shoes or your car, but that's not the motto. The motto is change your water, change your life. And that's what we're doing. That's how we're in the process of changing the world and accomplishing our mission. Because once again, kids, as usual, we are the Kong family. We have a very simple goal. We just want to change the world. And you may think that's insane, but that's all right, because that's what we are, crazy, and that's what keeps us from going insane. And we're out there changing the world one glass of hydrogen-rich, oxygen-saturated, incredibly hydrating Kangen 9.5 at a time. One lightning bolt in a box, one awesome guest, one amazing family, and one fun show at a time. And so with all of that yammering done, thank you so much for gracing the show today, for taking your valuable time to come in here and share some magic with the family. And as usual, kids, do not your hugs. HooDeeHoooo! Don't forget your lovins. So kids, love you guys so much. Make it a great day. Have an awesome weekend. And get out there and change the world, starting with your own. And make it a great day. Thanks again for being here today, guys. Look forward to having you on again soon. And look forward to interacting as time goes by. We got something super special going on here, and we're going to keep running with it. So thanks again, you guys. Love you so much. Make it a great one.
You as well.
HooDeeHoooo! HooDeeHoooo!